Opening batsman, Chris Gale, Devon Smith, with a real spring in his step, Chris Gale. I've never seen that before.
Sean Pollock is going to take the new ball for South Africa, and bowling to Chris Gale can be a daunting task in this form of the game. The first 6 overs is so important for both sides.
One-day internationals for Mark Benson. He has a look to the skies. He's very comfortable for the players out there. The lights are on already. Light is just starting to fade here in Johannesburg.
The lights are very good at this stadium.
Well, it starts here, all done and dusted in just over 2 weeks. It's going to be a fantastic competition, you can tell. Just the buzz around South Africa. This is the first game, inaugural game. Devon Smith to thrash it around with Chris Gale right at the top. Who's going to open the bowling? It's going to be Sean Pollock, just medium pace. He'll be down a tube as well. Been a fabulous bowler, fabulous cricketer for South Africa, and he's seen it all. He's seen test matches, he's seen one-day internationals, he's seen World Cups. He's not seen too much 2020.
He hasn't, and as time has gone on, the opposing batsmen have targeted Sean Pollock more and more. So he's under pressure, like all the players are.
Gale off the mark. Will it be a boundary first ball? Yes, it will.
Just a little bit too much room by Sean Pollock. Width, Chris Gale thrives on that. This outfield is lightning quick at the Wanderers. There was a misfield there at backward point. South Africa pride themselves on their fielding standards, so they'll be disappointed with that.
We've had music for 4 hours and it's still going. That's what we expect from Pollock. Every dot ball will be cheered. Partisan crowd in.
Better delivery by Sean Pollock. Cramped Chris Gale for room on that occasion. Pollock has shortened his run-up considerably over the years.
Take a quick single just to mid-on. There will be lots of quick singles, there's got to be. Got to be some good running, put fielders under pressure, but the boundary count will be so important, 4s and 6s.
Devon Smith, the other West Indian opener, left-hander as well. 2 left-handers at the top of the order, so something for the bowlers to adjust to straight away.
Seen any early swing. I expect the ball to swing the white cricket ball under lights. I've just come back from the UK, I've been in the UK, and the white cricket ball has not been swinging at all. But we do expect some movement under lights, some movement off the pitch, but it looks a very good pitch, does this?
Albin Walkall doing the tidying up at backward square leg.
Gale this time gets through extra cover. It won't be the boundary, it should be 2.
Good start for the West Indies in this first over.
Field change, fine leg comes inside the circle for this last delivery of the first over. Fine leg inside the circle, square leg back to the boundary. Dot ball to finish the over, it's 8 without loss. So Sean Pollock finishes the first over, he's gone for 8. We've just seen the one boundary, a boundary off the first ball. I suppose the bowler would think if he goes for 8 in his 4 overs, he's done the job. You can just tell, there's a fantastic atmosphere around the ground, it really is fabulous. West Indies team, Galen Smith at the top, and then Chander Paul, what a player he is. Samuel Sarwan back into the team, Bravo, all-rounder, Ramdin, Smith, Powell, Rampal, Edwards, good team. Team that turned England over in one-day internationals. And Makaya and Tini from the golf course end. Gracious, doesn't time march on, he's 30. Down to third man, has that natural angle, and Tini will go across the left-hander.
He enjoys bowling to left-handers, Makai Tini. He's had a wonderful career for South Africa. Struggled a little bit of late with his rhythm and his pace, so it's important from a South African point of view that he's right on the button from the word go tonight. Two fielders in catching position for Ntini, a first slip and then a wide second slip.
Aerial down to third man. Minimal footwork from Chris Gale. Just relies on his hands and his eyes just to get the ball through this infield. All sorts will be going through the minds of the players, particularly the West Indies. What's a good score? How many do we need? Short answer, and as many as you can get. Turn ones into twos, find the boundaries. Adrenaline will be flowing, you can taste it.
Overrate is another issue. You've got to get through your overs pretty quickly from a fielding point of view. You can't afford to waste time. You've got to be well organised, well drilled. South Africa not playing a recognised spinner, so they'll be going in with a more pace attack.
Beauty, Ntini, 134 Ks.
Good start for Makai Ntini, conceding just 2 runs off his first 3 deliveries. This is a beauty.
All about dot balls for the fielding side. How many dot balls can you get down? Stop the batsman scoring. No single there. This is an excellent start from Ntini. The sound around the ground is absolutely deafening. The drums are still playing. The crowd will obviously be right behind South Africa here at the Wanderers. Real family atmosphere, lots of young children. This is just becoming a great over now. 3 dot balls, 2 singles. Herschel Gibbs, business position. Just a backward a point. That position reinforced as well. If you got 2 players square of the wicket, in fact 3 are really tight, square on the offside. And Ntini will be just back of a length, roundabout off stump. Whipped away through mid-wicket, no need to run for that, races away. Boundary for Smith, 14 without loss. So a boundary each, one for Gale, one for Devon Smith. Ball just at the back of the length there, whipped away through mid-wicket.
Good shot, pull shot. Much needed boundary there.
West Indies. Put into bat by South Africa, 14 without loss after 2. Fielding restrictions for the first 6 overs, only 2 fielders allowed outside of the 30-yard circle. Pollock again, Gale into mid-wicket, Maximum all the way into the dugout. Teammates are on their feet in that dugout, in that area that's just outside of the boundary, real close to the boundary.
Awesome shot by Chris Gale. Not that much wrong with the delivery, it wasn't that short, but he picked it up beautifully over square leg for the first 6 of the tournament.
Slips dispensed with. Third man comes inside the circle. At mid-wicket area is reinforced, but inside the circle you can only have 2 outside. First 6 overs. Banged in, it's in the air. Dropped short. Just over the fielder, inside the circle.
Didn't get onto it, Chris Gale, on that occasion. The previous delivery he hit beautifully. This one he tried to pull, it was a slow delivery, top edged it. Just bounced between the 2 fielders, square leg coming in from the boundary and mid-wicket.
Field change for Danny Smith. It's more attacking, that slip goes back into position. You just mentioned earlier that other teams have been targeting Sean Pollock. His pace is nothing like it was when he came onto the scene, burst onto the scene. Relies on line and length and a change of pace as well.
It hasn't been easy for him of late when he's been under the cosh.
It's a lot of cricket. 290 matches for Sean Pollock. This is different. This will be a wide, leg side.
South African brains trust have experimented with Sean Pollock. They've bowled in first change on the odd occasion. I'm a little bit surprised that he's taken the new ball in this match. They've got Morne Morkel, who's done wonderfully well of late with the new ball, and he also bowls very well to left-handers.
Full of length. Whipped away again, 1 bounce for it, over mid-wicket, boundaries are flowing.
Very good shot again by Chris Gale, good balance. He just waited for that delivery, swinging into middle and leg stump, picked it up over mid-wicket very easily for another boundary.
Well, we've seen enough in this first 3 overs. This is an excellent surface, it's not rapid quick, there's no movement, we haven't seen the ball swing. West Indies need every run they can get batting first. Slow bouncer, just helped away down to fine leg.
First 6 overs, as we said, is very important. West Indies making a good start. They'd be looking for somewhere in the region of 60 after 6 without too much damage done.
Mark Boucher, South Africa's wicket-keeper, terrific performer. He's just got in a bit of trouble recently, sticking up for his mate Jack Callis, who was left out of the team. He got a rap on his knuckles.
He's not the only one. There's been a few of them in trouble of late.
Just look at his eyes. He's seen all that cricket, Sean Pollock, but this is deadly serious. Put the dink into the offside. 29 without loss. Current rate gets a quick score here. Swing and a miss. Current rate gets over 190.
Difficult to know what's defendable. It's a very good pitch and a very fast outfield. Side batting second has been on the winning end more often than not in this format at this ground.
We've had 4 previous 2020 internationals on this ground. Highest score, 201. Average score in the 4 previous 2021 internationals, 147.
We've seen a lot of these games, Bundle, and we know that if you get over 200, side batting second, they've got to play pretty well to win. Doesn't matter where you play.
The staggering thing since its inception 5 years ago, that the bar's been raised all the time. Teams are looking at 10 and over and thinking, yeah, we can get those. Need a good pitch. We've got one here. Tini with that awkward angle. He does bowl well at left-handers when he can restrict width offside. Don't give any width offside, and these two will thrive on width, particularly Chris Gale. But Gale has been eager to pick the ball up through mid-wicket.
Just the 3 fielders on the leg side, fine leg in the circle, square leg out in the boundary, mid on in the circle as well. So Tini can't afford to bowl too straight.
Chris Gale hammers the ball into the offside, nearly knocks Graham Smith over.
No feet, but he hit that very hard. Graham Smith doing the tidying up at mid-off, not happy with the ball. Trying something or anything.
Don't worry, he'll knock it back into shape. The batsman, that is. Light has gone very, very quickly. Full of length, full of shot, smashed away, all the way.
It's gone miles. That's an awesome shot, straight over the bowler's head. Not easy to do to Mackay and Tini. Chris Gale on fire.
Standard deliver shot, this. Dancers are off any opportunity. Look at this for a shot.
He's so dangerous, impossible to contain when he's in full swing. On the high field, the ball travels a long way.
I'd forgotten that, altitude. And again, repeat shot, Standen admires. Huge hit. All the way again, Chris Gale, 6 more. 42 without loss.
That's gone even further. Attempted slow ball. Chris Gale waits for it, hits through the line, gets all of it on that occasion. Over mid-off this time, into the crowd. Awesome shot.
Well, it's party time here, West Indies. 4 overs, 42 without loss. They were stuck into bat by Graham Smith. 4 matches previously, the side batting second has won 3 times. 3 sixes for Chris Gale. 4 players have recorded 5 sixes in innings. Ricky Ponting, Damian Martin, Adam Gilchrist, Nazimuddin for Pakistan. Yeah, there is a problem with the ball. It'll have gone soft. All the air's come out of it. Chris Gale's knocked it out of it. 32 from 13 deliveries.
Keeps disappearing into the crowd, so there's bound to be a problem, particularly for Graham Smith. Bowling change, Johan van der Walt.
Start Van der Walt. Change of bowling. Pollock take out of the attack. And you mentioned the think tank South Africa. Where should we bowl Pollock? Just a couple for him and then out of the attack. Van der Walt, just a medium fast bowler. Must have a decent action. Smith this time. Climbs into anything with any width. Just a single though. Here's Gale again.
Too much width. Not good fielding either. Herschel keeps making an uncharacteristic mistake at backward point. That's Vernon Philander doing the tidying up. He's one of the newer players, younger players in the South African side. Here we see it. He won't be happy with that, nor will Jonty Rhodes, the South African fielding coach. Johan van der Walt has played a lot of cricket of late, played county cricket for Northamptonshire during the current English season.
Good line to Gale, give it anything that's right up to him. He just swings the ball over the bowler's head. He's climbed into anything that's short of a length. He looks in great touch. Gale 32 from 13 deliveries. Devon Smith 9 from 13. There's the dugout. West Indies queuing up to bat, I would think.
They're a very happy dugout at this point. They're right on track.
Good line again. Change has helped South Africa. Van der Walt coming into the attack and bowling a good line and just back of a length, not too full. I think you know as a fielding side, Kepler, that this is a great pitch. West Indies are coming at you, they're going to score.
Just a hint of in-swing as well to the left-hander.
He's got to finish this over off. Bowled 2 dot balls and 3 singles, one of them a leg by. I am convinced that anything less than 8 and over is excellent bowling.
Certainly is. I think in this format of the game, on a good pitch like this, if you go for around 30 in your 4 overs, you've done pretty well.
Times have changed, don't they? 4 overs, none for 30. Well bowled, that's brilliant. Gale into the leg side. It'll just be a single. He's 46 without loss. So 46 from 5 overs for the West Indies. Everybody's happy at this ground. Not so sure you're happy if you're a fielder just at this stage. But a long way to go. South Africa winning the toss, bowling first. It's dance time. Great fun here at the Wanderers. We've been waiting a long time for this first game. Great celebrations to start this wonderful championship. A change upstairs in the commentary position. It's Ian Chappell with Tony Cozier.
Thank you, David Lloyd. Started with fireworks, the real fireworks, and then followed by fireworks from the bat of Chris Gale, who now faces. In the air, down the ground, he's not hit it all that well. He'll come back for a second, aiming for the same area where he got those 2 magnificent sixes off Ntini's last 2 deliveries. Ntini now being replaced by Morkel. This is typical Chris Gale here. As I say, good evening to Ian Chappell.
Evening, Tony, and hello to all of our viewers. Yeah, Chris Gale, I think this game's made for him. He's already clouted a couple of enormous sixes down the ground and then just casually flicked one off his hip into the dugout.
There he goes again. He hasn't hit it all that well, but he'll get 4 for it. Finds a gap, just throwing the bat. 50 partnership, the first 50 partnership in the tournament in the opening innings. And it's been all Chris Gale. He moves to 39 off 17 deliveries. That's his third 4. The match's third 3 sixes.
Well, started the tournament with a boundary off the first ball, and it's just got better for him. He'll be loving this, not having to run.
Well bowled. Saw him moving away to the leg side, tracked him down, Morkel. Good delivery.
That was pretty sharp. We haven't seen a lot of bounce in this pitch. It looks like a pitch that is definitely going to favour batting. Morkel, quite a tall bowler, and he's used his height well there, but the important thing is he didn't give Chris Gayle any room to move.
Well, you mentioned it's a good thing that Chris Gayle isn't running much. He had to run that one, but he has been struck twice on the inside of the knee since he's been in South Africa, once in the nets and once in the preparation match against New Zealand. Had to retire hurt then, so it's no wonder that he's dealing in boundaries, although he always does. Into the 6th over now. Good start here for the West Indies, good foundation. Devon Smith has been rather overshadowed, and that's his area. Good cutter, Smith, but just a single. Protection at third man. West Indies having been sent in. Graham Smith winning the toss.
A couple of players having trouble with the lights there. Mark Boucher not picking that one up. Crowd, no trouble for them though. They're having a fine time. The atmosphere here has been building up beautifully throughout the afternoon. There's a real discotheque as the people were coming into the ground.
Well, he's tracking Gayle down and he's bowling it well. Gayle moving to leg to give himself room. Didn't have any. 54 without loss.
But Graham Smith there having to shout to allow his players to hear him with this discotheque type atmosphere. The crowd are really enjoying it.
Lights stick in full effect now. It's dark. West Indies batting first after being sent in. Chris Gayle, 40 off just 20 deliveries, 3 of each, 3 sixes, 3 fours. And he's at the non-striker's end. Devon Smith now. Cracked away for 4, beats the fielder at third man.
Well, the ball flies a lot further in the atmosphere here in the Transvaal. We're at an elevated height, about 6,500 feet. But what they don't tell you is the outfield is also very fast. The ball travels very quickly across the ground.
Think of a second here. Gayle will come for it. Injured knee or not, always on. Bowler had to chase it down. Mid-on has been dropped back to long on. So Van der Vat having to go after it. In the end, a comfortable 2 for Devon Smith. Little left-hander from Grenada. Played really well in England in the first of the 2 2020 internationals at the Oval back in July. Got 61 there. Struggled a bit since he's been in South Africa, out for a duck against New Zealand in the preparation match, and struggling a bit here, but 17 off 18 deliveries. Hoiked away. Just wonder, Chappelli, with Gayle, and now we saw Devon Smith backing away. I wonder why they're doing that. Gayle just standing in his correct position and smashing the ball all over the place, and all of a sudden decides that he should back away.
He's certainly been very effective hitting straight down the ground. 2 enormous sixes there. South Africa got 201 in a game here at the Wanderers against Australia in a 2020 game, and Australia nearly tracked it down, 199.
try for the second. No, they're satisfied with one. No way they're going to get their second for that. So good first over from Morkel, just the 3 runs coming from it. Back into the action again. Van der Vat has also bowled pretty well. So the least experienced of the South African bowlers doing pretty well after Pollock and Ntini were taken apart by Gale. He's got it through. Is there time enough for the fielder to get around? Sliding save. So that's going to get a couple.
Well, the crowd have really come along. They're in the mood to have a party, and so far they've had a party and seen some pretty good action on the field. Seen sixes, a lot of fours, some good running between wickets, and what we will see throughout this tournament, a lot of hard chasing and good fielding.
Pulled away, short ball and really handled very effectively by Devon Smith. West Indies motoring on here. 68 without loss of 7.
That's an excellent shot to finish off the over. Got on top of that beautifully, Chris Gale. He's in tremendous form. This is a format of the game that will really suit him. Smith, in fact, hitting that boundary. He's hit 3 4s now. Gale has 3 4s and 3 6s.
West Indies with a very good foundation here. 68 from 7 overs. They haven't lost a wicket, but they'll know that anything in the region of 200 might just not be enough against this South African side. They know the Wanderers ground very well. It's an ideal pitch. The outfield is fast. And being at elevation, the ball travels through the air much quicker than it does at ground level. They're wondering about the ball. No wonder. Chris Gale has damaged it so much in his 41 from 21 deliveries that we need a change. Darryl Harper making the selection. There's the West Indies dugout. Shivnarine Chandapal to come in next. As the captain Ram Naresh Sharwan has commented, flexibility is the name of the game. 20 overs per innings. And it could well be that the advertised batting order is changed to suit the conditions. Here's Morkel now. Good first over, just 3 runs off it. Gale in strike.
That's a brilliant piece of fielding. Well, what Morkel's done with that really good bouncer in his last over is push Gale onto the back foot. That's the sort of delivery that earlier in his innings he would have crunched for a straight 6. But you can see there he's on the back foot because he's a little worried about the bounce and pace of Morkel. Excellent fielding to save a run. No wonder he fielded it so well. As his brother.
Very slack running in contrast to the fielding. They only took 2 for it. Gale assumed that it was going to be 4. In fact, when the ball was relayed, he had to hurry into his ground, just 2 runs off it. Third man over his head. 6, just got the fingertips to it. Just an indication of how the ball flies through the air here in Johannesburg at elevation.
Well, that must be really annoying for a bowler. He would have been thinking that's going straight down third man's throat. He's definitely got Gale onto the back foot. But in the rarefied air here in the Transvaal, it's carried a long way.
Well, that would have gone all the way to Pretoria, I'm sure, if he'd got hold of it. Chris Gale just having the opportunity for equaling the fastest 50 in a 2020 international. That was 23 deliveries. Sanath Jayasuriya, If he had clouted that one, he would have got it off 23 as well. Now he's faced 24 deliveries for his 49. Andrew Simons got his 50 off 25 deliveries against South Africa in Brisbane. Not carrying.
Amazing that the fastest 50 is quicker in a 50 over game than it is in a 20 over game. I'm not sure how long that will remain the case though.
Shahid Afridi and I think Jayasuriya as well. They can belt the ball, so can Gale.
And 50 for Chris Gale.
Chris Gale, first 50 of the ICC 20 World 2007. What an innings it has been. Typical of Chris Gale. Blowing like a hurricane. 3 4s, 4 6s, 26 deliveries. No ball. Now we come to the first free hit of the tournament. It means that the batsman will have a free hit and he can only be run out. No other way can he be run out. The field cannot be changed. That's the regulation for the 2020 format of the game. So a free hit now. There is the no ball. And he misses it. Just wonder why they're backing away, trying to make room here. 78 without loss after 8 overs. Good spell for Morkel.
Terrific start for the West Indies, and pretty good start for World 2020. Crowd really having a wonderful time here. Definitely in a party mood. 78 off the first 8 overs, 9 per over. That's a respectable rate.
78 without loss, and a crowd in fancy dress in many areas of the ground. Vernon Philander. Keeper is up to the wickets. Medium pacer. Well bowled. He's had very good record since coming into the South African team recently. He's come in this year both with bat and ball. Very useful all-round cricketer, Philander. That's gone. That's gone. They've distributed hard hats here among the crowd as they came in, just for that eventuality, because Chris Gale can really ping somebody tonight in the mood that he's in. He's hit 5 6s now.
Well, it's the right pace for Philander. If he doesn't get the length absolutely spot on, he's got to get it in the block hole. If he doesn't, that's going to happen to him quite a bit.
Well, come on, Chris Gale, just a single, better than that. Now has joined Ricky Ponting, Damien Martin, Adam Gilchrist and Nazimuddin as the batsmen who've hit 5 6s in an innings in 2020 International. And he has been the dominant partner, no question about that. Here's Devon Smith. Coming back for the second.
West Indies almost need Devon Smith to get out now. Probably send his namesake in, Dwayne Smith, who is probably next to Gale, biggest hitter in the West Indies lineup.
Devon Smith doesn't have the power of Gale, Dwayne Smith, Marlon Samuels, who's had a tremendous impact in this form of the game since it's been introduced. That's gone away. Now wides, will it be? Yes. So wide and the 4 byes, counting as 5. Always a danger for the keeper standing up to a medium pacer when he fires it down the leg side.
Well, that's his ploy, Philander, to try and get it in around leg stump. On that occasion, it looked as though it may have even just swung a little bit.
Good save. End of the over, 93 without loss after 9, West Indies.
Chris Gale in magnificent form. He started the tournament with a boundary first ball, but those have been the hits that have really got the crowd going. The straight sixes, absolutely glorious shots. 5 sixes in all. Bit fortunate with that one. Plenty of red lines being the sixes. I think we could see a lot of those here at the Bull Ring with the way the ball travels in Johannesburg.
Bobby Morkel will continue. Starts with a wide, in fact. This is the other one. This is Albie. Morn was the one who's taken over from his brother. And Albie starts with a leg side wide.
Well, they did a bit of bluffing there, the South Africans, appealing for the court behind. I think as much as anything, they were trying to convince the umpire that it wasn't a wide. Ball just clipping the thigh pad on the way through. Glorious arm, Sean Pollock. We'll see a lot of that flat throwing in from the outfield. And the better fielding sides will have an advantage in this tournament. Projected score 10 and over. They get it to 200. West Indies, I guess they would want 200 as a minimum now after this start.
Another wide here. So Albie not following the example of his brother Morn. Just a couple of overs for Morn. And he's come off. Replaced by the other Morkel. And he's got it on target this time, just a single. Pronouncing his first name wrong, it's Mornay, as in lobster Mornay, rather than Morn.
And Albie is proving to be a mere mortal.
And we'll finish it at that. Into the 10th over. West Indies travelling on here at just over 10 runs and over. Now Devon Smith. Down to long off. So he's managed to get things on target here now. Albie Morkel after those 2 wides.
The crowd have suddenly gone quiet. No sixes, no fours. Quietest period we've had for the whole evening.
Spoke too soon. You spoke too soon, Chapelli. That's more than a 6. It only comes to 6 in the book. but it really was worth 12. It's a huge hit from Chris Gayle, who now gets the record, moves ahead as the batsman who has hit more sixes than any other in the 20 overs form of the game. What a massive blow.
Well, I think the umpires started looking for another ball. He's hit it that far. That one, I don't think that was all the rarefied atmosphere. I think that was a bit of brute strength. That has gone a long, long way out into the golf course, I think.
Bang through the offside this time for another boundary. This is quite remarkable batting here by Chris Gayle. He's now moved on to 68 from 33 deliveries. That's his fourth but 4. He's had 6 sixes.
There hasn't been 100 yet in 2020 international cricket. He's got an enormous chance to do it. We're not even at the halfway mark yet, and he's almost 70.
Just a gentle push down to long on for a single. 10 overs gone, 10 to go, 109 without loss. Chris Gayle, 69. So there the West Indies team. They'll be looking forward to a total certainly in excess of 200. This is a tremendous start for them. They've come in with the confidence of 2 victories in the warm-up matches. They certainly have entertained the crowd, but they've shocked the crowd as well this evening. So halfway stage, West Indies 109 without loss. And Philander with a dot ball, which has been infrequent so far this evening. In the commentary box now, Harsha Bhogle, and with him Kepler Wessels.
Let's call him Vernon. Promise you not to refer to the more English meaning of his surname. We'll call him Vernon. Tell you what, there's some players, you just look at them and say they belong. You look at an actor and you say he's born to be an actor. Look at Chris Gayle, say he shouldn't be doing anything else but playing 2020 cricket.
Absolutely, he's been awesome tonight. He's played some scintillating shots. Really taken the sting out of the South African bowling attack so far.
Don't tell me they're going to run 2. They are. Wonderful, wonderful. Now this is nothing to do with 2020 cricket. This is just good athleticism. And I think we'll see more and more of this in the 50-over game as well.
Good constructive batting, good running between the wickets, poor fielding, it has to be said. South Africa pride themselves on their fielding standards. Hasn't been that good this evening.
And I promise you as well, we will not use the word Gayle in its normal English meaning as well, even though that's exactly what he's doing here. Few players would define themselves by their name.
Problems for the South African captain as far as his bowlers are concerned. They've selected no fewer than 7 players who can bowl seam up. No spinner, of course, which can make the South African attack predictable at times.
There's a good lights here, the Wanderers. Lovely green outfield. This is seriously good conditions for 2020 cricket. Runs everywhere. Just 5 of it. 11 overs gone. 114 for no loss. It's Not always did you get an over with just 5 runs from it, so he's done all right in that over. Bernard Philander, after going for 15 in his first. And 2 overs for 20. They're enjoying themselves. It's that kind of night. Party, party, party. On the bowlers, well, don't expend it now because there's lots more of this tournament to go. All of 22, Tini 19, Vandabath 17, Morkel 18, Philander 20. 6 bowlers bowling seam up, and this was expected. It's not a bad move.
Graham Smith into the attack with his part-time off-spinners. Definitely worth a try because all the seamers are found going pretty tough on an excellent batting surface.
Now, where is this ball going to be deposited? In an unlikely area. Isn't this a good outfield? Devon Smith wants a third. Gale says, no, I'm enjoying life at this end.
This outfield's lightning quick. Sean Pollock doing the tidying up. Pollock himself with a new ball was very expensive. Gale targeted him. Pollock found it difficult, like all the bowlers have found it difficult so far.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Nowhere to hide when you're bowling to Chris Gale in this type of form.
Highest score achieved in a one-day international is 98 not out. Gale is 77 with almost 9 overs left. We're looking beyond 100 here. Over. For just a brief, minuscule moment, long gone would have thought, there it comes. And then you'd have said, there it goes.
Highest team score is 201, so West Indies have got a chance of surpassing that as well if they go along in this vein. Another excellent stroke, over mid-on this time. Very well timed. Altitude, the ball travels a long, long way.
7 sixes. Devon Smith has called for 2. And he's running to the danger end. There is no danger as it turns out. Tell you what, a lot of you might be looking at this and saying, right, like they're doing 50 overs cricket, have they brought the boundary in? The news is no. This is as big a boundary as you'll see.
Same venue, of course, as that famous match between South Africa and Australia, where South Africa chased down Mammoth 438.
Already 15 from it. I was tempted to say that West Indies are redefining the rules of 2020, except that no one's written them yet. Chris Gale is probably going to write them. Setting a standard that's almost impossible to achieve. I wonder how much Devon Smith is paid for that, for the box seat today.
Catch it!
Well, 2 more. 17 from the over. Graham Smith's eyes grow wider. It's 131 for no loss. At the other end, he's not exactly just been watching, he's had his share as well. The reverse sweep.
Little reverse sweep over backward point, all going the way of the West Indians at this stage. Devon Smith.
Yes, a little bit for the camera, a little bit for the fun of the game. 131 for no loss from 12. I'll tell you what, people watching this, the other teams watching this, they've had the back of their mind what a decent score is, and they're saying, hang on, is that right? Current trade will take them to 218. And I mean, none of us have seen a lot of international 2020 cricket. We're asking around. The general feeling is, look, 170, 180 looks like a decent score. No.
Sean Pollock back into the attack for his second spell.
It's a good decision not to call it a wide. It's a good decision. Has he done something to himself here as Gale?
Overrate always an issue for South Africa because they don't have a spinner.
What a good ball that is. It's the first time we've seen something like that. And I don't think Gale had any idea at all. A slow, loopy bouncer. Well done.
Slower ball bouncer. Pollock's got to try something to break the momentum. That worked.
Where was it, Chris? Where was it? I'll tell you where it was. It wasn't too far from your periscope bat. There's a reason they're running through, of course. This game started at 6 o'clock local time. They've got to finish by 20 past. They've only got 25 minutes in which to bowl 7.5 overs. So at last we're seeing some variation. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't see South Africa do different things with the ball today. First over, we're seeing Pollock doing something different. One full, one slow ball, another full.
Has been a problem for South Africa for some time. Their attack can become very predictable. They all basically do the same thing. No specialist spinner in the lineup. The spinner in the squad is Tandi Chabalala. He wasn't selected for this match.
He might think he's done someone a good deed. It's now the highest opening partnership in 2020 internationals. Graham Smith and Lutz Bosman had put on 132 against Pakistan at Johannesburg right here.
Much better over by Sean Pollock so far.
But only 2 from 4 balls. What's coming? Last 2. Something big here. Something big here. Something very big here. Something humongous. What do we have boundary lines for? Throw them away.
Can't afford to miss your area when you're bowling to Chris Gayle. Sean Pollock was looking for the Yorker, but he wasn't full enough. Chris Gayle was able to free his arms. Hit it over mid-on for another towering 6.
How big was that? Will we see that in Test match cricket soon, I wonder? That is the most sensational shot of the day, and we've seen a few. Because he's flicked that 30 yards out of the boundary line. 14 of the over, 145 for no loss. Tell you what, we're going to see a bit of dancing around here, but they can't keep pace with a cool dude.
The bench, they're enjoying that, and why wouldn't they? 2 sensational shots to finish it over. We're just talking about the fact that Sean Pollock bowled a better over, and the last 2 deliveries, he just missed his length. They both went out of the ground.
Put a couple of fielders in Durban, I say. Put another in Cape Town. 1 in Chennai. And 1 at Lord's. Wonder if they're watching this at Lord's. Get into the new world, guys. Can you believe they didn't score?
Vernon Philander back into the attack. Into his 3rd over, he's conceded 20 for his first 2.
So if you just put together all Gale 6s, that'll be a 5-minute package in itself.
Slow delivery, good one. Vernon Philander had an exceptionally good tour of the emerging South African players' side to Australia not so long ago. But he's finding this a little bit different. Let's have another look at that last 6 of the previous over. Chris Gale hitting that over square leg onto the grass bank.
Just a little skip. Was there a nick? There was! The wicket goes down. That may not be a bad thing. Devon Smith might have been struggling a little bit, but he made 35 from 34. That we call it a struggle is indicative of what Gale has done at the other end. At last, South Africa get a wicket. Devon Smith out for 35, 145 for 1. Oh, they've got something to celebrate, these South Africans. This is how it happened.
Took a while. Vernon Philander is the man taking the wicket outside edge straight to Mark Boucher. Devon Smith is on his way. Belated breakthrough for South Africa.
So wicket for Vernon Philander. What else lies in store today?
My name is Marlon Summers. I'm a right-handed batsman. My favorite shot is going over extra cover for 6.
Well, the guy at the other end has hit a few. Get a single, Marlon. Get a single. Well, now that you haven't, do what you say. Go for a 6.
Good first up delivery by Vernon Philander. Hit the deck pretty hard. Marlon Samuels was expecting something in his half. But Philander, it's quite an aggressive first up delivery. Good sensible bowling.
There it goes. Oh dear, oh dear. Redefine these boundaries. Did he hit that? Did he slog it? Did he miss hit it? We don't care.
That was just a good hook shot. Vernon Philander thinking he'll go for another short delivery. This time, Samuels was ready for it. Over square leg, onto the grass bank as well.
Oh dear. Talk of box office. 2020 has made its debut with a bang. And still only 6 of the over. It's 151 for 1. So that means that Chris Gale on 98 gets in. Philander 3 overs, 1 for 26 so far. That first over went for a lot of runs.
That was the only wicket to fall so far. That was the one of Devon Smith, caught by Mark Boucher or Vernon Philander.
So at last, a wicket in that column. Smith, Devon Smith, got Boucher, bowled Philander, 35 from 34. Samuels has already hit a 6, but all the action here now. The man who's electrified the Wanderers and set this tournament alight. What a man. It's like saying the Beatles were made to play music. Is he playing for 100? Is he playing for 100? Just a single.
He deserves one, so why wouldn't he? It's on 99, highest score in this format of the game. Well done, Chris Gale.
Highest number of 6s, highest score. 49 balls for his 99. 9 6s. Little matter of 5 4s as well. At the risk of repeating ourselves, these are full-length, long boundaries. They're being made to look like little backyard fences. I think cricket's leaping to a new dimension here. Now Samuels. Miss it. Man is waiting under. Takes it easy. Bullock picks up a wicket. And Samuels is gone for 6.
Maybe de Villiers the catcher at deep mid-off.
So 152 for 2 in the 15th over. Samuel 6 from 4 balls. That was how he got out. Samuels looking to make room to clear the boundary. And easily underneath. De Villiers took it quite easy. So Pollock in his last over picks up a wicket. He's gone for a few runs already, but he won't mind the wicket.
Seven runs on the ball, left-handed bat.
Slow loopy bounce, it's called a wide. What does the bowler do?
Nightmare for the bowlers when it goes like this. Other times they can turn the course of a match.
100 not out. Are we seeing history here? 101 to Chris Gayle. What a man. What an innings. What a way to set this tournament alight.
What a wonderful way to start this tournament. Chris Gayle at his very best, scoring the first century in this format of the game.
And they'll do a little dance as well. Dear. 101 not out. I'll tell you what, he's got 5.5 overs left. I won't be surprised if they hit a ball out of the Wanderers. In fact, he might have hit one today. Gayle. Still in strike, you're still looking for the second. Wide, one more. Ah, Sean Pollock.
That's what pressure does to the bowlers, even the best of them like Sean Pollock. Pollock rushing back, South Africa battling to get through their overs. That's a wicket that fell. Samuels caught by de Villiers, a deep mid off, a miss hit.
Calmly under it, de Villiers. 3 balls left. You know, you can't go down the leg side. Now Gayle is teeing up and you can't go wide of the offside. All you can do, I think, sometimes is stick a knife in his back.
Anywhere in the hitting area is risky. Certainly not going to help South Africa's over rate.
Why in my old age, is Sean Pollock saying to himself, why? He's bowled well in this, from time to time. And he bears the brunt himself. He's hit himself. And to think that there's just 6 runs from this over, which is a very good one.
Better delivery, full and straight. Not much that Chris Gayle could have done with this one. Looks like he hit the ball onto his foot, so that's pretty painful. And he's hobbling around, but he doesn't need to run now. He's been hitting the ball so well. He'd be looking for boundaries all the way.
Does he need that foot though? What do you need the foot for? You need the foot to get yourself into position and to run singles. He's not bothered with either. It's not going to help South Africa over it either, but the match referee will take that into account. 20 overs in 80 minutes, that's all the time you have. And at the moment, we're through with 67 minutes with 5 to play. That is, I don't know actually, it's just another great shot.
He just slapped that past the bowler. We've said that this outfield's very quick, deep mid-off. Herschel Gibbs, who's no mean fielder himself, had no chance. Low full toss. Beautifully struck by Chris Gayle.
There was a time, wasn't there, when a low full toss was a good ball. 10 of the over. 161 5 to play. 200's gone. Oh, that's out somewhere in the golf course. No, just misses the golf course. What a poor shot. Just misses the golf course. 10 sixes, 167 for 2. Oh, we knew we were going to see something special, but I think those expectations have long been surpassed. Chris Gayle is rewriting the rules. Whatever little we had of them, he's setting the standard here.
Full shot. And again, standard unmade.
corners of the ground. 2 wickets, 167 for 2, Samuels for 6, Smith for 35, Chris Gayle 111 from 53 balls. David Lloyd is chuckling to himself, he's in the commentary box, and Tony Kozia still refuses to believe what he's seen.
Well, we've seen Chris Gayle in this sort of mood before in all sorts of the game, but this is, as you say, unbelievable. Sean Pollock, in his long career, could never have been more pleased to have come out of the attack. He's bowled his 4 overs, he's been hit for 52 runs. He won't have to bowl again this evening. Morkel comes back, and Shivnarine Chandapal, clever player that he is, will try and provide Chris Gayle with as much of the strike as possible from here on.
I was there, boyo. Who said that? Max Boyce, Welsh comedian, years ago. I've never seen anything like this. He's losing this cricket ball, Chris Gayle. Just to refresh your memory, if you're just coming in, South Africa won the toss and elected to bowl first. Chris Gayle said thank you very much. He's helped himself to 111 off 53 deliveries, 6 fours, 10 sixes.
They had drumming, they had fireworks before the start of play. They need not have bothered. Chris Gayle has provided both from his bat this evening. And he's ready for the strike now. And Graham Smith shuffling the fielders. He's got to put a few in the crowd. And out of the ground as well. That's a wide. He moved across, but it was down the leg side.
Anything that goes down the leg side will be called a wide. It's a boundary fest, is this? Perfect start to the tournament. Chris Gayle on a great pitch. Stunning cricket pitch, this. Big boundary, big enough.
You reckon Sean Pollock would agree with you that it's a stunning cricket pitch?
This is not the game for bowlers on a pitch like this. Sean Pollock, yeah, 4 overs, thank you, I've finished. 1 for 52.
Field now shifting all over the place. 3 men on the leg side within the restricting area, just 1 in the off. There goes Gayle again, down the ground for another boundary. Well, it's a good thing Morkel wasn't in the way of that one. He would have broken a bone.
Well, it's a good job he's injured, Chris Gayle. He's not bothering to run at all. Dancers are off again. Oh, I wish I could do that. Here's another. Whack!
I wish I could do that. They're just shuffling the fielders all over the place.
Send for 4 more. I need more fielders. This is a big boundary. What happens? Mid-off comes, gracious, mid-off comes inside the circle.
Now who's to go where? They're shuffling them like a pack of cards. You come in here, no, you go back. You come in here, no. Shall we have a long off? Shall we have a fine leg? Where does a fine leg stand? Here's Gayle. It's in the air, he's got the bottom of that bat onto it, but he's survived. It's the first false shot I think we've seen from Chris Gayle this evening. It's his 50-50 delivery, and he's mistimed it.
And it's nowhere near a fielder either. What we've not seen from South Africa, any meaningful spin. We've seen a little bit from Graham Smith. We've not seen Yorkers. Got to try and get your Yorker into a set field. They've been battered, South Africa, here.
That's what Chandapal will do. Experienced head on his shoulders. He knows the man at the other end is on a roll. Just give him as much of the strike as possible. Morne Morkel in his 3rd over, 2 overs and 4 balls, 26 runs off him.
just ambles through for his singles, Chris Gale. And South Africa saying, you can have a single, we don't want you on strike, you can have a one anytime you like.
He's 56 deliveries, only 15 he's failed to score from. Leg by, ends a pretty good over from Morne Morkel. 177 for 2 off 16.
His current rate gets West Indies 221. That's a massive score. The highest score here at the Wanderers is 201. The average score batting first, 147 in 4 previous 2020 one-day internationals. West Indies are absolutely motoring here, but they'll need every run they can get. Once you get a pitch like this, you get a crowd like this, South Africa will need to respond.
It's been tremendous batting here from Chris Gale. It's been Chris Gale's show, really. 177 for 2. If they get 12 runs and over, they get up to 225 at the current rate, 221. But this, remember, is the ground in 50 overs cricket that produced that remarkable match between South Africa and Australia. South Africa getting up to 438. They needed 434 to win the match. That just emphasizes how good the quality of the pitch is, how fast the outfield is, and how rarefied the atmosphere.
One thing that West Indies can say at the break, we've got the runs, now we must bowl better than South Africa, more effectively. Now let's see if we can outfield South Africa. South Africa have not been great in the field. They've been put under tremendous pressure by Gale. Here's Gale again, 117.
There he goes. This is the end of Chris Gale. Boucher is under it and takes it. But that's the end of one of the finest innings you'll ever see, no matter what form of the game. Graeme Smith comes across, shakes Gale by the hand. Excellent sportsmanship. Justin Kemp as well. It's been a remarkable exhibition of pyrotechnic batting by Chris Gale. He finishes 117 on 57 deliveries. The West Indies are 178 for 3. And as David Lloyd was saying, we were here. 178 for 3.
Whirlwind, absolute whirlwind from Chris Gale. Great touch also from South Africa, recognising what a great innings that we've seen here at the Wanderers. He sits down, not many singles. This is the end of Gale. Boucher calls the catch, it's into orbit. It nestles in the gloves. Memorable innings, 117 from 57 deliveries.
Batsman crossed while the ball was in the air for Gale's dismissal. Chandapal now takes up the cudgeon. Should come back for 2, but won't.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Smith, right hand batsman. Favourite shot, hook shot.
Dwayne Smith says his favourite shot is a hook shot. He's not telling the truth. His favourite shot is over, long on, mid-wicket. That's where he's going to aim for. He's a big six-hitter. He may favour the hook shot, but that's where he gets most of his sixes, and he's a big six-hitter, Dwayne Smith.
He's got 21 deliveries including that. 179 for 3. 180 for 3 off to 16.4. Chris Gale, take a bow. Absolutely stunning. This is the end. Forget the end, it's what we've seen before. 117 from 57 deliveries, Chris Gale.
There's a protection out there, just a single. Now with Gale gone, the effect here is as if you're driving 120 miles an hour and you just pull up the handbrake a little bit. because that's how he was going.
Current rate gets 215 in 20 overs. Let's give a reminder, in 20 overs, this current rate gets 215.
.181 for 3, 17 overs gone, 3 to go.
Well, it's been absolutely stunning. Just have a look at South Africa out there in the middle, not in the crowd. They're having a great time, blowing kisses to everybody, and I don't even know you. Fabulous time, but out there in the middle, the fielding side have been put under the cosh here. Graham Smith winning the toss will have a ball first, being shell-shocked, hammered, battered.
Just adjusted now. We saw 225 if they get 12 per over a while ago. That's now down to 217. Two relatively new batsmen in. Chandapal has just faced his 7th delivery. Dwayne Smith has only had 2.
10 fours, 11 sixes in 182 for 3. Chris Gayle has taken care of most of those. Just have a look at these faces. South Africa in the first game, home territory, Bullring, Joburg, Wanderers.
Almost back onto the stumps. Dwayne Smith looking again for that favourite area of his. Just watch the ball, that's what he's going to tell himself here. Chandapal will tell him the same thing.
Well, tactics, what tactics if you're a batting side? Find that boundary, hit 4s, hit 6s. Fielding side, dot balls. Priceless, a dot ball. Especially with a score, 182 for 3.
He's only got 3 men in the field restricting area. Now he gets the 4th. Comes up from 3rd man. All 4 in the offside. Now he's gone down the ground and caught. Not quite enough legs on him. Good catch by Herschel Gibbs over his head. West Indies lose another wicket. South Africa clawing their way back here. Smith goes 182 for 4.
It's a big shot, it's a big boundary. Gibbs is on the boundary down there, best fielder at mid-off, takes a great catch, it really is, right on that boundary line. Smith just scores a single. He'll look at that shot and think, what a great shot I've just hit. Gibbs take the catch, Morkel the bowler.
Ramnari Sawan, right-hand batsman, favourite shot, square cut.
He's also the West Indies captain. He's leading the West Indies for the first time in a 2020 international. And he's been shocked by that first delivery. Good one. Morne Morkel with that short ball, surprised Sawan.
This is the end of Smith. Such a big shot down the ground, but the best field is there. Herschel Gibbs at long off, right on that boundary rope. Absolutely on the line. Good catch.
They'll look for a second here. Hesitation. Reputation of the fielder has sent them back. 2 were on, but the uncertainty with Gibbs onto it meant that they were only prepared to take the 1.
Well, Graham Smith has desperately tried to get his fielders in key positions, his best fielders. Gibbs is down there at long off. But you can't help but think damage is done. 183 for 4. Still looking for 200 though.
Fine over for Morne Morkel, just 3 runs off it. The West Indies only have 2 overs to go. They're 184 for 4.
So 12 deliveries for West Indies to bat. Chanderpaul is on 7, Sarwan is on 1. 2 new batsmen at the crease. He's good for South Africa, but it's been a boundary blitz. 10 fours, 11 sixes in 184 for 4. Entertainment like you've never seen for this crowd. Look at all the youngsters.
Van der Vaart now to Chanderpaul. Edge and 4. Doesn't matter how they come at this stage, and that's how they usually come at this stage. The bat will be thrown, the edge is found every now and again, and boundaries registered.
Or they all count. Any edge, any boundary, you can have the singles. South Africa pushing right onto the edge of the circle, desperately trying to stop the boundaries. Good gracious me.
Well bowled, caught behind. West Indies just losing their way a bit here. South Africa clawing their way back into it. 188 for 5 now.
Well, it's Chanderpaul this time, 11 from 10 deliveries, and Nick through to Boucher. He does the rest, the wicket for Van der Vaart.
Dinesh Ramdin comes in to replace Chanderpaul. Dangerous Chanderpaul, out caught behind. Little edge onto that. The South African youngsters are doing it for them. Van der Vaart, Morne Morkel pulling things back for South Africa when it looked as if the West Indies would go on to something in the region of 220. They'll do well now to reach 210. That's a fine shot. Dangerous little batsman, the keeper. Dinesh Ramdin gets off the mark.
Well, it's a boundary 4. It bounces once just before third man boundary down there. Anything wide on this pitch will get clattered, cluttered. 192 for 5. Will get to 200, West Indies. South Africa scored 201 on this ground against Australia. 2005-06. They've done it before, South Africa.
Just a single. And pertinently on that occasion, they were chasing as well. 201 for 4, won the match.
Seven needed for 200. Innings has been propelled by Chris Gale right at the very top. South Africa winning the toss. We'll have a ball first. Chris Gale smashed it. 117 from 53 deliveries, Gale.
It's well bowled but well played by Sarwan. Will get a couple here. May get even more than a couple. Come back for a third. And and will keep him in strike because 1 over remains. The West Indies are 196 for 5.
So 1 over to go. Graham Smith wants everything to go a little bit quicker to get this last over in. I'm sure they'll do it. Excellent fielding down there, but he just saves a single, nothing more. Boundary count is 12 fours, 11 sixes. West Indies will get the 200.
The last over now to be bowled by Vernon Philander, and if he bowls at that rate, 8.5 runs and over thereabouts, the West Indies will get up to about 205 thereabouts. Sawan will take strike, the West Indies captain. Good bowling. We've seen some good bowling from the South Africans since the dismissal of Gale.
Well, West Indies looking for at least 2 boundaries here. Excellent start from Philander there with a dot ball. Slow ball, full of length, outside off stump. Now what's going through his mind? Dot balls. How can I stop him scoring?
That's how you stop him scoring. 2 deliveries, both dots. Just 4 balls remaining.
They've not trusted themselves, particularly against Gale, to get that Yorker in. We've seen slower balls, but slower balls that have been comfortable to hit.
Just the single. Ramdin will come back. The return comes into the keeper's end. Good running by Ramdin. He was the one. 4th umpires calling for the replay, but it looked very much as if Sawan got in. Wasn't prepared to go for the second before Ramdin said, yeah, come.
He's got there, I'm sure. Gut feeling, my gut feeling, that he gets in. It's a long, long way for Herschel Gibbs to throw to the wicket keepers, and I think he's there. 3rd umpire will make the decision. Well, it's nothing to do with me, but I reckon he gets in. What do you think, Tony? He's in, comfortable. On with the show.
But well done by Ramdin. His partner said, come on, captain, we can get 2 here, and he did. 3 balls remain. West Indies within touching distance now, the highest score ever in a 2020 international on this ground. 201. Just waiting for the decision to be officially put up. Not out as we thought. And that's gone away. That could be 6. It could well be and is. Well, Ramnaresh Shawan said when he came on our screen that his favourite shot is a square cut. It went square, it was cut and went for 6.
He did say he did it with one hand. Outrageous strong. Look at that. That's 1 boundary this over so far. 2 balls to go.
There he goes. It's a catch taken. A.B. de Villiers, the fielder, doesn't drop much, and certainly wasn't going to drop that one. So Sawan goes. West Indies have already climbed up now to the highest score in a 2020 international on this ground. Sawan goes for 12. 1 ball remaining, 204 for 6.
This is the end of Sawan. A.B. de Villiers is the fielder. Good pair of hands.
Down to 3rd man, he'll come back for a second. Just the single, however, ends the innings. The West Indies 205 for 6. It has been the West Indies, but more especially it has been Christopher Gale with a memorable innings to start off the inaugural ICC 2020 World here at the Wanderers ground. It's gettable. It's 205 for 6, but it will take a lot of getting.
That's the West Indies batting card. They were put into bat, would you believe it? 117 from 57 deliveries for Chris Gale. Take about wonderful innings. Smith with 35 from 34. Everybody else chipped in. They needed to do that. Extra 17 may be significant. 205 for 6.
That's the highest partnership ever in a 2020 international. 145 for the first wicket between Gale and Devon Smith of 82 deliveries. Then the West Indies innings subsided after the dismissal of Samuels, and especially after Gale went. But in the end, 205 for 6, they would have taken that at the beginning after being sent in. Sean Pollock hammered for 52 from 4 overs. No one under 7 runs and over. Morne Morkel, the least expensive of the bowlers.
Well, let's have a look at these bowling figures. Sean Pollock, 4 overs, 1 for 52, and Teeny only 2 overs, none for 19. 2 for 33 for Van der Vaart. There's some damage there. Just look at those figures. I just keep laughing to myself. Can't believe the seams. And it's a quick turnaround. Has anybody had time for a cup of tea? Graham Smith to open the batting. Let's just remember, he's been out there trying to organise his team with the ball and in the field. Herschel Gibbs is his partner. What a combination this is. Gibbs and Smith at the top of the innings in hot pursuit. 206 they require from 120 deliveries. Required rate is 10.3. Get away. Darren Powell with a new ball for the West Indies. I'll tell you something, we can't draw this match. There is going to be some shots played by South Africa. Just went off the field and straight back on. Crowd have to get back in the seats. They've took a little bit of a stroll. They may be caught out. We're off again. Oh, got a great start, that is. Pace, 140 Ks. Good evening, Ian.
And good evening to Mr. Smith. Cop that. And the important thing, Darren Powell right on line with the first one. It looks as though he might have just caught Smith on the wrist. He's wringing his hand. He didn't have a clue where the ball was. I'd say it's got him on the wrist.
Well, come on, captain. It's been mayhem out there. You've been trying to organise the field. Your bowlers, you're looking at the score. West Indies get 205. Graham Smith gets his pads on. The first delivery. Smack. Darren Powell dead straight, short, quick. Chris Gale. Not seen him stood still too much today. Yard circle. Pollock again. Gale. Huge shots, unbelievable shots. This is a big boundary, this is a big ground, the Wanderers. Now he's having a breather, just watching proceedings. He's in trouble, Graham Smith here. He's got a problem there. Oh, what a start, what a dramatic start to this 2020 championship. That's real sore, real sore. He's got a big, big problem here. Let's have a look at it again.
Well, it's caught him on the top of the glove, I'd say, just near the top of the glove and the arm guard, but I didn't like the way he was wincing there. Won't surprise me if he's got a bit of a broken bone in that hand. Very good delivery from Powell. It was quick, and the important thing, it was very accurate. And I think right there, Smith knows he's in trouble.
Well, he's a tough guy. It's 140 Ks, that delivery. Physio's out there. He's been there for a while. And the music plays on. The band plays on. Maybe De Villiers is the next batsman in, and he's putting his gloves on. He just feels that he may be in sooner rather than later. Change round in a flash. Now what's this gizmo? One of these physios have all these gadgets. What that's doing, I don't know. Whether it's detecting breaks, somebody will have to tell me later, but he is in a big problem. Smith is a tough guy, big boy.
doesn't work anywhere near as well as that magic water and the magic spray they used to have.
I remember the one. Darren Powell, motionless. He's done the damage. 140 Ks. Mickey Arthur, coach of South Africa. Painkillers. Just watch everything that's going on there. Just had a couple of painkillers. 140 Ks. It was released at 138 coming up. It gets to the batsman, it's 109 Ks. The thing about it, first ball, it's deadly accurate.
Yeah, I think he's in big trouble. He's taken the painkillers, but they're probably going to take a while to kick in.
Well, he's taken a hit, Graham Smith. He desperately wants to carry on. He's not going to do it. I'm mentioning he's a tough boy. This is the first ball of the innings. It's short of a length, it's quick enough, it's 140 Ks roundabout. And he knows there, as you say, he knows right now I'm in trouble.
The big problem is going to be, I mean, he might, if it was a test match, he could stay in and survive, but actually trying to belt boundaries, which is what he's going to have to try and do. Yeah, look at that. He's no price, I don't think. I mean, he might try, but I doubt that he's going to be able to hit sixes and fours.
Well, we said it's a dramatic start to the tournament with Chris Gayle, 117, 53 deliveries. Never seen entertainment or hitting like it. This is a huge ground. What's he going to do, Graham Smith? He desperately wants to stay out there. Next batters, De Villiers, Boucher, Kemp. De Villiers will be looking to come in soon. Pollock is in there. Look at these all-rounders stacking up. Well, he's staying out there. Well, it's brave. Is it foolish, though?
Well, what he may do is decide, right, I'm in trouble, I'm going to swing for the fences and just hope that I can do some damage before I have to leave.
Short again. Eased away down to third man. So he gets off strike. He's had his painkillers. Didn't have an injection, we didn't see that. That's sore. That is sore. So Herschel Gibbs prepares to face his first delivery.
Two slips in. So Sarwan looking for early wickets, which is the best way when you're trying to contain the opposition and you've got a decent tally on the board. Get some early wickets. It works in any form of the game. It is the only serious form of containment that I've come across.
Impressive bowling this. All round about 140 Ks. He's back of a length. He's not giving any drives. He's a terrific build, this Darren Powell. 30 one-day internationals, 40 wickets. Economy 4.59. This is different. 2020, if your economy's round about 7.5, you've done really well.
Darren Powell, I saw him just recently in that final at Lord's playing for Hampshire, and he got clattered around the park. Then just the other day in the warm-up match against New Zealand, can you believe these figures for 2020? 4 overs, no maidens, 3 wickets, 4 runs in 2020. Unbelievable.
He's one of those bowlers for me that just clicks. If everything just slips into gear, he's a handful. Short, pulled away, but it's offside. It's one without loss. Well, what a terrific start by the West Indies. They posted 205 for 6. I'm too old for this. the memory's still there, I can tell you. Great scenes. Smith in trouble, hand injury. Packed with all-rounders, Kemp, Pollock, Morkel, Van der Vaart, Philander, and Teeny at 10. Ravi Rampal, not the same sort of pace as Darren Powell. May bowl a fuller length. Graham Smith is on strike. We all want to see how he's going to play here. Eventually he picks the ball up. With the injury to Smith, it may be just back of a length. He's struggling.
He's got to go off. I don't think he can do his team much good. I think that's what he knows. In fact, I thought he was going to walk off then.
Just look at these faces. Faces on the bench. Mickey Arthur, the coach. You'll see faces in the crowd as well. He's struggling. And look at his eyes again. Feeling real pain in that hand. Struck a blow with the first delivery. Anxious looks from that dugout area. Very, very good start by West Indies, keeping things very quiet. He's got to make a decision. So he's probably a leg back.
Well, I think Graham Smith really, he's got to do one of two things. He's either got to go off or he's just got to swing for the fences. And if he has one swing and he finds that it's way too painful, which won't surprise me one little bit, then he's just got to walk off. But he's not doing South Africa any good at the moment. And I think he's going to find out that he's got a broken bone. And I think he probably has a pretty good idea at the moment that there's something broken.
Well, I'm sure you're right, but he's a young gladiator and he doesn't want to know. And if he has got a break in there, that's him out of the tournament. He's back on strike again, a single. Herschel Gibbs. But this again is such a great start by West Indies. Don't let South Africa get away. Don't let them score boundaries. They've hit Smith, one of the main men. Hit Smith with the first delivery. Darren Powell, Ravi Rampal has bowled just back of a length. A little bit short at him. Very happy with these singles. Singles are not doing any damage. Original rate was 10.3, it's now up over 11.
Well, the deflections are okay for Smith. I think what he really needs to find out is, can he play an aggressive shot and hit a 6 or a 4? And if the answer to that is no, then he's not doing South Africa any good. He's just eating up deliveries and pushing that that run rate up. So he's got to get out of there.
Smart, that'll do. Herschel Gibbs joins the party. 8 without loss.
Well, it's putting a lot on Herschel Gibbs now. If Smith can't hit the boundaries, then they're going to rely very heavily on Herschel Gibbs. Gibbs is a terrific striker of the ball, and his greatest ever performance in a one-day game was at this ground. He'll be hoping he can repeat it here.
Darren Powell has got Graham Smith in his sights again. Just the one boundary so far. Last delivery, hit by Herschel Gibbs. Smith pulls away into the leg side. Let's have a look how he feels now. How long does it take for painkillers to kick in? How strong are the painkillers? How's he going to be after this game? He's one of the main men, South Africa.
That's the shot. Interesting to see his reaction. Seemed to show a lot of pain. Hitting straight might be tough.
Be a wide down the leg side. Smith epitomises South Africa. He's a tough guy and he's a big unit as well. And you can feel for him that he wants to see his team through the competition. It was a searing blow. The worst ones just on the back of the hand, very vulnerable, lots of bones in there. He's fine now, nothing wrong with his hand.
Well, I think that's what he's restricted to, basically. He's just going to move back and towards the leg side. Anything that's short, he'll try and hoik it over the onside, which he'll probably get away with that. But Powell would do well to pitch up to him and see if he can hit him straight back down the ground. Then I think he might have some problems with that hand.
I hope it's the other one. Keep bashing it with Herschel Gibbs. Just a signal from the keeper to Darren Powell. Make him come forward. And he's done just that.
Yeah, I think as soon as he's had to try and drive, I think that's when he's in trouble. He can hoik the ball through the onside because that way he's using the bottom hand, but make him use the top hand more where he's trying to drive, and I think he's in trouble.
He scrambles through for a single. Sure that we're seeing the power in the shot, and you can see again anything that's full of length, that's where his big problems are, that his top hand has to do all the work. No power in this.
Absolutely no power at all, and he's normally a very powerful player. He's worked out what he can do and what he can't do. That's why he's edging onto the back foot and to the leg side so that he can pull the ball over the short field. But when he's got to drive, that's the pain that he feels. This is a huge blow to South Africa. If he's out for the rest of the tournament, boy, that knocks a hole in the South African side.
Sure it does. Oh, there's some good dot balls here. You see the pace of Darren Powell. I just wonder also whether West Indies can outfield South Africa. And that'll be some call. South Africa noted as a terrific fielding side. They had a struggle, and Gale was smacking the ball to all parks. And if you're just joining us, Chris Gale, 117 in 53 deliveries. West Indies 205 for 6. That will do. That will do nicely. All the way. 20 without loss.
Well, that's Gibbs' specialty, lofting over the covers and clearing the boundary. I've seen him do that a few times. But he doesn't need the rarefied atmosphere of the Transvaal to do that either. I've seen him clear the boundary at sea level with the old cover drive.
After 3 overs, West Indies were 29 without loss. South Africa are off and running. Oh, this time Graham Smith gets hold of that all the way. Yes!
Once again, he was able to use the bottom hand. West Indies, if they've got any sense, they'll just keep it right up to him and make him drive. As long as he can use that bottom hand and work the ball over the onside, he can probably get away with it. I bet you there's a lot of bottom hand here. Plenty. And plenty of elevation as well.
Well, at altitude, where the air is rare, the ball flies through.
Tell you what, we nearly got rid of a couple of the dancers there with that one.
Oh no, we can't be doing that. Endangered species round here, you know.
I thought you were too old, Bumble.
Good memory, mate. Pulled away again, bottom hand shot.
He's trying to bluff his way through here. It's very brave what Graham Smith's doing. I think in giving the bowler the charge, he was trying to convince him to pitch the ball in short, which he did. But it's brave. But the West Indies aren't very smart if they don't keep the ball up and try and make him drive.
I think this is a terrific effort from South Africa's captain. He's the captain. It's so easy just to walk off. He's got real damage in that hand. So easy to say, I can't do it, boys. He's put a marker down here, Smith. He's played some boundaries. He's in great pain. Terrific lead. Gibbs now. Gibbs, another big shot. Too short.
And a no ball. So there we are, the free hit, and they're not allowed to change the field because the same batsman is still on strike.
This is great fun. 5 scored so far. Overstepping front line. Anything goes, Herschel. Anywhere you like, you cannot be out. Get ready, it's showtime. Oh, there he goes. Smears it away through, right with on. Does it go all the way? Great effort, oh, great effort.
Tremendous chase. Fidel Edwards, who will do a bit of bowling and a bit of pace bowling himself later on, really put in for his team. Indicating there, I think, to the umpires that he dragged it back, and he did. Terrific effort.
West Indies sometimes can be awful in the field. That's outstanding. Outstanding from Edwards. They're on course, South Africa. At this stage, they're ahead of the West Indies. Smith, slow delivery. Good comeback from Rampart.
You could see there with Smith forced to try and drive that he almost took the hand off the bat. Certainly has been a brave bit of leadership from Smith. A couple of times it's looked like he was going to walk off the field.
Well, West Indies had an over of 17. There are 15 from this so far. Good comeback from Rampart, full of length. It's the Yorker in, right in the block hole. Crowd will be right behind South Africa here.
The other thing about bowling the Yorker, not only is it hard for Smith to drive, but if it hits right on the bottom of the bat, you reckon that doesn't jar a broken hand. Lloyd, he's cringing here thinking about it.
I can feel it. You know what he's going through out there, Smith. Yeah, it's a fabulous effort. With the slow Yorker, it brings a single, shy at the stumps. He's there. 36 without loss. 4 overs, West Indies were 42 without loss, South Africa 36. Need 170 from 96 deliveries, South Africa. Highest score to win a 2020 game, batting second, was by England, 173 for 5. That was against the West Indies just earlier this year. Smashes through the offside, should go all the way. Quick enough outfield, gets there.
Well, that didn't hit anywhere near the middle of the bat. It's still got to the boundary, so it's not just the rarefied air, it's a very fast outfield.
Well, adrenaline is taking him forward. You saw the blow that he took, first ball of the innings. He's had some pain-killing tablets, but he's finding the boundary. Tough cookie. Oh, big wide. Punch just round the corner. Goalkeeper style.
Yeah, you're quite right about the adrenaline with Smith. When that hand cools down and when he goes into the nets tomorrow to try and have a hit to see if he can play the rest of the tournament, I think that's when he's going to find out how bad it really is.
Best advice I can tell him, don't take your glove off, ever, for anything. Keep your glove on for the next match.
And don't go near an x-ray, because you'll only find out what you don't want to find out.
That's exactly right. Oh, he's gone for a scan. Tell him it's broke, and he's still batting. Full toss, Gibbs heaves away. Both of these can be very, very dangerous. Quality players in any style of cricket. What do you say? If you can play cricket, you can play cricket. That's it. Gibbs, test match player, one-day player, 2020 player. Same with Smith.
Yep, a good cricketer's a good cricketer anywhere. He just adapts to whatever length the administrators want to put on.
For the keeper to do. This is sloppy stuff from Powell. He started so well, just having difficulty controlling this white ball. I noticed that in the interval the ground staff went round hurriedly with a rope to dispel any dew that there is, and there will be some.
He's a bit unlucky. He's trying to get it right in the block hole on leg stump, but it's just swinging a bit, and swinging quite late.
Through. Couple of big bounces. And it finds the boundary. Well, Graham Smith, injured or not, just getting South Africa into momentum here.
Well, that just shows you how fast the outfield is. That was nowhere near the middle of the bat. It's only lobbed, well, it's lobbed inside the 30-metre mark, so it wasn't hit all that well, and yet it still got to the boundary.
23 from 17, Graham Smith. Gives 19 from 11. Sharp bouncer. What does the umpire think? South Africa crowd are telling him that's the one for the over. He's let it go as a wide. Smith wants a wide. And he wants a drink, not the only one.
He probably wants a drink and another tablet, I would imagine.
Sloppy stuff. Powell down the leg side. The wicket keeper's look round him tells all. Gets a word from the captain, Sarwan.
This is a magnificent bluff job from Smith. Powell was bowling beautifully after having hit Smith and probably broken his hand. but he's bluffed him a few times. He's got some wides down the leg side. He's got some boundaries. As we've said a few times, it's a very brave effort. Might be the last thing he does for South Africa in this tournament, though.
It's through again. Just be a single. 50 on the board in South Africa. Would you believe it? South Africa just ahead of West Indies at this stage. 50 up.
Maybe de Villiers, he thought he was going to be in there 4.4 overs ago.
This is just developing into one heck of a cricket match. Shootout. Good finish from Darren Powell. 5 overs have been bowled. It's 51 without loss. So plenty to shout about here. We'll have a quick change. Commentary position. Kepler Vessels with Tony Cozier.
So that's a rollicking start for South Africa as well. First 2 overs they were contained. Just the 1 run from Darren Powell's first over, but they've made up ground here. Brave innings by Smith. Hit on the glove and looks to have a very badly damaged hand. Could be a broken bone in there, but he's continued on. He's got 24 from just 19 deliveries. Captain leading from the front. Ravi Rampal, the young West Indian, will continue. No fine leg. Another boundary. Things getting away from the West Indies here.
Good shot by Graeme Smith. Poor delivery though, it has to be said. No fine leg down the leg side. Easy pickings for Smith. He likes the ball on the leg side. He's very strong in that area. Just a bit of panic now in the West Indian ranks. The last over of the restrictions. 6 overs, so it's a pretty important one. Only way the West Indians will stop this rot is if they pick up a couple of wickets.
Taken straight into the extra cover. Calmly taken. So Graeme Smith, brave innings comes to an end. The West Indies get their first wicket, but he's remained out there with a purpose. Graeme Smith, the captain. 54 for 1.
Very well caught by Chris Gayle. He's superb. Evening continues. 54 for 1. That was the first wicket to fall, taken by Chris Gayle, as we said. Foolish delivery. Graeme Smith trying to go over cover, didn't get hold of it well enough. Straight to Chris Gayle at extra cover.
My name is Abby de Villiers, right-handed batsman. My favourite shot is the square cut.
Maybe his favourite shot, but he'll have to play a lot more shots this evening. He's in good form. He and Graeme Smith prospered against Australia in that victory in the warm-up match. Now he faces Ravi Rampal. And he's given him the square cut. He's missed it because it's too wide. Umpire Harper makes the call.
Maybe de Villiers one of 3 specialist batsmen in the side. The rest are all rounders. That's how Graham Smith's wicket went down, caught by Chris Gale at extra cover.
Well bowled. Had a rough time here, Ravi Rampal, youngster, been out of the game. He came here to South Africa with the West Indies when they were here in 2003, 2004. Age of 19, it was on this ground that he bowled a tremendous penultimate over in a 50 overs match against South Africa. Just 1 run off it, and the wicket of Jack Callis, who had gone past 100. And then the last over, South Africa getting up to win it, having made over 300. Pressure on him here now.
Maybe de Villiers off the mark, down to 3rd man. It's important from a South African point of view that AB de Villiers finds his feet pretty quickly. Herschel Gibbs is going well at the other end, so he doesn't want to put too much pressure on Herschel Gibbs at this stage to do all the boundary hitting.
Ramnaresh Sharwan, the captain of the West Indies here, has had very little experience in that position. He was first appointed vice captain back in 2003. A lot of thinking to do for the skippers in this form of the game. It's all action.
Both 3rd man and fine leg now in the circle.
Typical Herschel Gibbs drive. Just gets a single.
Sarwan will be pretty relieved when this over is finished, because that means the fielding restrictions is something of the past. He's got more options as far as field placements are concerned. After this over, he can also perhaps bring in Chris Gale into the attack, change the pace, use some variety.
It's going to go away. They pick up a couple to finish off the last ball of the 6th over. The field restrictions are now lifted. 54 without loss the West Indies were, 59 for 1 South Africa.
South Africa won't be unhappy with the way they've recovered after the initial 2 overs. West Indians bowled really well at that early stage, but the next 4 overs was very productive from a South African point of view, so they will feel that they're well set as well.
So it's just about level pegging. South Africa have lost the wicket. Graham Smith, 59 for 1, 54 without loss was the West Indies score at the same stage. Field restrictions have been lifted. Darren Paul will have the last of his 4 overs. And a rather inaccurate one the last over. 3 wides in that over. Herschel Gibbs in strike. So the field dispersed now to far places.
Fielders in the ring, not really looking to cut off the ones anymore. They're just trying to prevent the boundaries now. Trying to get some pressure on South Africa. The run rate required is 10.6. So they'd like to get that over the 11th mark, the West Indians, as soon as they can. Chris Gale in picture there. He's had a wonderful evening so far.
Well bowled. Darren Powell had the incredible figures on Sunday in the 2nd of the warm-up matches for the West Indies against New Zealand, of 4 overs, 3 wickets for 4 runs, which certainly in the context of the game, perhaps almost equating with his namesakes, Asafa Powell's world record on the same day. Over the top, well struck, fielder out there, and lost it. Comes back for a couple. Bravo, you would expect to have caught that. I get the impression he wasn't quite sure where he was in relation to the boundary. He released the ball.
He made very good ground to get to it because it was going like a bullet. Bravo came around on the cover boundary, got there comfortably in the end, just couldn't hang on to it. Would have been a wonderful catch if he caught it, but he is a good catcher, he is a good fielder. How expensive will that be?
What a blow, what a blow. We've seen several this evening, and Herschel Gibbs picks up that one and sends it a long way.
Trouble for the West Indians now. Another wicket at that point would have made a massive difference. The next delivery goes out of the ground. Herschel Gibbs' innings is gaining momentum. He's a very dangerous player.
Just checking here to see where it's dropped. The umpires, whether it's 4, whether it's 6. It looks to be a 4. Not quite carrying, so not quite off the middle of the bat. It's umpire Benson who will have to decide on the advice of the 4th umpire. And Nigel Long, another inch or 2 would have counted for 2 more. Well run. De Villiers spotting the opportunity.
Herschel Gibbs will be disappointed there. That delivery was down leg side, fine legs up in the circle, so just a little tickle on that would have meant another boundary. Maybe De Villiers now on strike, hasn't faced Powell yet in this innings. Darren Powell has got 1 delivery left in his spell.
So De Villiers facing Paul for the last time and for the first time. And clipped away, they've gone for 1. They won't come for a second. The fielder out there is Dwayne Smith. He's the best thrower in the West Indies side. End of Darren Powell's spell. 67 for 1 off 7 overs.
Match is very well poised now. South Africa in pursuit of this winning total of 205. If they achieve it, it will be the highest achieved so far at this ground.
So 7 overs gone. There's a comparison, virtually level pegging. We're in for a tremendous match this evening. We've already had one. We've had an unforgettable innings from Chris Gayle. 117, first 100 in official 2020 internationals. West Indies 205 for 6 from their 20 overs. South Africa 67 for 1. And we'll have a change in bowling. Dwayne Smith, the medium pacer, comes on to replace Ravi Rampal. Smith with the opportunity here. Just 4 fielders required in the restricting area. All the others boundary riding. A.B. de Villiers waits. And he starts with a wide. West Indies are being in discipline here. Let's go down to Ian Bishop.
Mickey, worrying news. Well, certainly a worrying aspect there for Graham Smith. Any news on him yet?
Yeah, look, he's gone off to hospital straight away. We need to have that x-rayed straight away. I'd rather get it done now than get it done a bit later, so it is a bit worrying for us at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. The captain looked in a lot of pain.
In the air and gone. He's got enough onto it for another 6. It's raining sixes here at the Wanderers tonight.
Very good shot by David de Villiers. Came down the wicket, kept his head nice and still. Hit right through the line and cleared the long on boundary comfortably.
This one doesn't quite carry, but there's another 4 here. So a nervy start for Dwayne Smith, a wide, a 6 and a 4. Now South Africa begin just to make progress. The kind of progress they need to get up to the West Indies total.
2 very good shots by David de Villiers. One over long on, one over mid wicket.
Will they look for the second? It'd be dangerous if they did. Already 12 off the over, including the wide. And just 3 balls gone.
That was the first of the boundaries. That was a 6 over long on. Next one was 4 over mid wicket.
The ball. Not often you see the bat beaten this evening for a defensive shot.
From a West Indian perspective, I'd like to see Chris Gale coming into the attack just for a change of pace, provide some variety.
Another wide. Second for the over. Eight wides for the innings, that's far too many. At this stage, we're in the 8th over, they've already had 8 wides. West Indies will pay for them.
Seam bowlers have found they're going tough on this excellent batting strip. I've only seen 1 over a spin so far, and that was the part-time off spin of Graham Smith.
Well, that was the thing before the tournament started. Spin would have an effect. Neither of these 2 teams have much spin. Down the leg side, 4 again. It comes for 5 because it's another wide. You'll have to bowl another delivery. West Indies just beginning to fall apart here.
Poor cricket, poor bowling. Wicketkeeper had absolutely no chance. Pressure definitely getting to the bowler.
Off the over, counting all the wides and the boundary wide as well. $20 off the over. 87 for 1, 8 overs gone.
Run rate now for the first time below the 10 mark. So South Africa making good progress.
Crowd here at the Wanderers just can sense. They can sense here at the Wanderers ground that South Africa are making a really good fist of this. It was a difficult target, 205 for 6. Astonishing innings from Chris Gale of 117. But at this stage, after 8 overs, the advantage on runs is with South Africa. They're 87 for 1. The West Indies were 78 without loss. And now Sarwan turns to his quickest bowler in Philet Edwards to see what he can do.
He's got a big job to do now, Philet Edwards. He needs to get a breakthrough and get it in a hurry to put his side back on track. Lots of batting to come from a South African point of view. They bat all the way down to number 11, basically.
West Indies need wickets here. Just saw the effect on the West Indies innings when Chris Gayle was dismissed late in the order. West Indies batsman trying to push on at that stage, faltered. Another wide, another wide.
Well, you can't afford it in one-day cricket, particularly not in the 2020 version of the game.
Wides against the West Indies in 8 overs. In the air, who's going to catch it? Somebody's asking for it. Rampal, the keeper. Ramden it is who takes the catch. It went up miles. Well judged catch by the keeper. He called for it. He's got the gloves. Not easy, those. 88 for 2, and that's a crucial wicket. De Villiers goes for 16. South Africa lose their second wicket.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe De Villiers going for the high risk option, hitting across the line, getting a top edge. That ball went a long way up. Good keeping by Ramden. He got underneath it easily, didn't panic, caught it well. West Indians needed a wicket and Philet Edwards provided it.
Hi, my name is Justin Kim, right hand batter, and my favourite shot is the cover drive.
And his favourite method of scoring is hitting sixes. He's a big fellow. He's got a reputation as a six hitter. He comes in now with 2 wickets down. AB de Villiers goes.
Another look at the dismissal, straight up in the air. Good catch by keeper, making ground, positioning himself well and catching it easily in the end.
I think South Africa will see a vast improvement in Philet Edwards. He was here with the team in 2003, 2004. He's got some fitness, he's put on some size, he's put on fitness as well. And he's got more and more control. It'll be a test for him here, however. And he's still got pace.
Good pace as well. That was a good aggressive bouncer. Good aggressive bowling. Got a wicket in the over, follows it up with a good bouncer. Just has a little chat to Herschel Gibbs, or perhaps a little bump. Could land himself in trouble with the match referee for doing that. That wouldn't go unnoticed.
And that's what follows. He really has to concentrate here. Doesn't have to worry about little things like bouncing into the opposing batsman. Crowd's after him. Concentrate on his bowling. Saw it in England. Sreesanth, the Indian, bouncing into the England captain Vaughan, getting fined for it. Unnecessary.
Someone has to keep control as captain.
Beautifully bowled. That's what he's got to concentrate on. Not all the peripheral stuff.
Good over so far by Fiddle Edwards. Got a wicket. Bowled a good bouncer. Bowled a couple of wides, unfortunately, but predominantly hasn't been easy to get away. Important time now for both sides. West Indians need to get some dot balls in. South Africa need to keep the momentum going.
Superb bowling here from Edwards. He's right in the block hole at pace, and he's direct as well.
Not much you can do about that as a batsman. Herschel Gibbs is in good form. He's hit some really good shots. So it's not easy to keep him quiet. Very good delivery.
In the air. How far has it gone? Just dropping inside the boundary. Only runs from the bat in the over. 93 for 2.
Just missed his length. Fiddle Edwards with the last delivery. Bowled a few very good Yorkers. This occasion he was about half a metre short. Herschel Gibbs saw that mid-off was in the circle. Lofted it over his head with ease.
Overs gone, comparative scores. West Indies were 94 without loss, and Chris Gayle was going full pelt at that stage. South Africa 93 for 2, so West Indies with a slight advantage. Change in bowling. Dwayne Smith very expensive in the only over he bowls, so Dwayne Bravo comes on now. Bowler of similar pace, but a lot of variety. Dwayne Bravo, good slow balls. And starts with another wide. West Indies are going to feel these. They're already feeling them.
They've certainly let South Africa off the hook in this respect. They've made things for South African batsmen a lot easier. Justin Kemp has just come to the crease, so it's so important to bowl in a good area, keep him quiet, get in a couple of economical overs.
16 wides in the innings now. That's all he wants. West Indies approaching the record for the highest number of extras conceded in a 2020 international innings. They gave away 21. It's their own record against England. The Oval in July.
Justin Kemp off the mark, down to third man. 111 to win off 64 balls. South Africa will feel that they're on target, that they've made a good recovery. The West Indians will know that in order to win this game, they've got to get a couple more wickets quickly, get South Africa behind the rate and put pressure on this long batting lineup.
Third man coming into the restricting area now. No, fine leg, clever shot, very clever shot by Herschel Gibbs. He knows exactly where the field is set and flicked it away for a boundary.
Cheeky little sweep shot, premeditated, but Herschel Gibbs has got the ability and the talent. He can do this. Just a flick of the wrist over short, fine leg, down to the boundary.
That record at the Oval, 21 extras. The West Indies lost the match in the last over. Significant. Coming back for two. Herschel Gibbs now has a runner who sneaked onto the field without many people noticing, not least the commentators.
Not good news for South Africa. Graham Smith also received a painful blow to his hand. We don't quite know how bad that is. Seems like Herschel Gibbs has done something as well.
Under on the board. Inside edge, no third, no fine leg. Four more. Always dangerous without a fine leg. Always dangerous. Inside edge can go away as that one did.
It's a case of stand and deliver now. Herschel Gibbs probably feels he can't run anymore, so he's just going to try and look for the big shot at every opportunity. Swing across the line, inside edge. Bravo was a bit unlucky there. That could easily have gone straight onto the stumps.
Calling for two, not taking it. A little bit of a fumble, they might have well have got it. Halfway stage, 106 for two. West Indies at this stage, 109 without loss. So what a match we have to start off the inaugural ICC World 2020. Building up to a tremendous finish. We've had quite remarkable innings this evening from Chris Gayle. 117, the first 100 in this format of the game, and it looks very much as if we're going to have a close finish here. So there it is, tight match building up. Marsha Bogle is in the commentary box now. With him is Ian Chappell.
Fidel Edwards. What's the batsman saying? Didn't see it? Wasn't ready? I'll tell you what else has happened. Should have bowled 20 overs in 80 minutes. That requirement is staggeringly irrelevant now, because in 62 minutes they bowled 10. So politicians also set up 3-man committees, setting up 18-man committees. It's a delay of about 4 or 5 minutes when Graham Smith is being tended to. What's wrong with that? Batsman seemed unhappy about something.
He was going crooked his partner about calling, something to do with the calling. I think generally when you've got a runner, what you do is just leave it to one bloke to do all the calling. All the old rules about in front of the wicket, the batsman calls, behind the wicket, the non-striker calls. You forget all those. With the runner there, just one guy. You pick one guy and you say, right, he does all the calling. And generally, it's got to be the guy who's on strike does all the calling.
Bowling very interestingly here, Fidel Edwards. Even in the previous over, from the first 8 balls that he bowled, he only conceded 2, but then because he bowled some wides, conceded a boundary at the end. Now 1 for 6 in his second over, hasn't conceded a run. Just wonder if he's seeing the first signs. Can't read too much early, but seeing the first signs, there might be place for the regular bowler as there is for the regular batsman. Powell has bowled out, bowled 4 overs straight, done for 34. Rampal's got 1 left. Fidel Edwards doing a good job here. What he isn't doing a good job of, Chappelli, is walking back to the top of his mark because he finds the South African batsman in the way. And I don't think that's done. As Tony Coase was saying, we saw that in England as well when Srishant brushed against Michael Vaughan. We've seen Fidel Edwards do that against Herschel Gibbs.
Well, West Indies over rate is abysmal. Part of that is the fact that they've got so many wides. But they're certainly not quick at getting through the overs. And there's no punishment. Well, no talking about fines and so on, but I can't remember the last time a team was fined.
Or indeed that the fine mattered. Well, there will be level 2 offences and level 3 offences, and the captains will get into trouble, but unless it hurts somewhere, even more than in the pocket, this will continue.
Well, normally I'd say you suspend the captain. I think that'll solve the problem, but it's not going to get done.
The innings started at 1944, so it should end at 21:04 local time. Just 2 of the over. 108 for 2 after 11. Just wonder if Herschel Gibbs is not able to use his feet very much. Just wonder what's the best way out here. Kemp will have to get going pretty quickly too. 98 needed now from 54. The celebrations have been good, the cricket's been good so far.
Those Indians in the crowd, they flying down to Durban tomorrow with you, are they, Harsh?
Unless it's a multicultural party that's celebrating the ICC 2020. I know why you're saying that, because you're staying here in Johannesburg and then going to Cape Town. I'm a Durban man. Well done. That's going to help the over 8 even more. What happened there? Kemp wasn't ready. Smith's 28 from 21 is off to hospital to check if he's broken his finger. De Villiers 16 from 9. There they are. Durban, here we go. You're entitled to ask, why don't those go for 4 in a 50-over game? Why do they do so in a 20-over game?
Well, they used to play that shot way back in the 1800s. They used to call it the back draw. Now it's just classed as a French cut, inside edge, but it works well. And the important thing is they've only got room in the scorecard to write down just number 4, nothing else. That's unless they've changed the scorecard since I stopped playing.
Well, much has changed since then. I'm not sure the scorecard is in there. I actually think the West Indies have bowled more innovatively than South Africa have. There's been the odd slow ball, there's been the quick Yorker, there's been quality bouncer. All we saw from South Africa was the odd over from Sean Pollock. They bowled the slow bouncer, but otherwise pretty much too much of the same.
There'll be Morkel there getting ready to come in next. Not sure if the guys out in the middle would want to see that.
Lots of elevation. Is there enough distance? Oh, he dropped it. Very difficult catch, but he dropped it. He had to know where the boundary line was. He's a fine fielder, Chanderpaul. Not good enough.
Well, you would have thought the ball was up there that long. You would have thought that he had enough time to get around and camp under the ball. Chanderpaul is normally an excellent fielder. Good slower ball has caused Gibbs to hit it very, very high. Chanderpaul, I think he must have been worried about the rope. That's the only thing that's caused him to drop it. But you would have thought that he had time to get around, work out where the boundary was, and then camp underneath the ball, because he could have taken it a metre inside the rope.
Because in a 20-over game you still have 10 wickets in hand, you can start playing those shots and taking the chances. I think we've seen that a lot of the chances are coming off. And I just wonder if that definition of risk will change as you go along. Just as the definition of risk in Test match cricket changed with the advent of one-day cricket. 88 from 50. So Gibbs with an injury. Smith with an injury.
Yeah, that's a huge hole in the South African side. I fear the worst for Graham Smith, as brave as his effort was tonight. I just think that he's got a broken hand, and we've seen the last of him tonight. Gibbs, we don't know the extent of his injury, but if you take those two out of the South African batting lineup, that's a huge hole.
Also because they prefer playing only 3 regular batsmen. Kemp comes in from 4. Well, since he didn't bowl, he probably classifies as one of them. He hit that pretty hard. 12 of the over, it's 120 for 2.
86 required from 48. So West Indies need to probably take a wicket or two. As long as they keep their head and their fielding improves, they can't afford to keep dropping catches. But they should win from here.
The West Indies were 131 for no loss. South Africa just 120 for 2. We thought when West Indies were on that we were witnessing the unthinkable. South Africa replying. I think in a sense they're replying better because they're not relying on one man to do it.
This is a gamble. Dwayne Smith was terrible in his first over. Surprised that not getting Samuels or Gale or someone like that.
In fact, the experience in a lot of places shows that the slower bowlers have tended to do better. Isn't that interesting? It's gone all that way off the keeper's pad. He just slanted down the leg side. I'll tell you what, even that first over, he conceded 20, he might have gone for more because Ramdin kept wonderfully to him down the leg side. Look how far this one's gone. Slanted down the leg side. So taken off the keeper's pads on the edge of the circle. And for the other direction. It's not looking like a good idea already.
Well, he is a real worry for his skipper. I'm surprised that he's had enough confidence to bowl him again. Neither Gale nor Samuels have bowled yet. And I must say I'm surprised they're not, one of them's not in there now.
I'll tell you what else the West Indies are doing. They're virtually giving an extra batsman to South Africa. Extras are now 22, the highest ever. in 2020 internationals, beating their own record. Powell bowled out today. This is all hectic. It's tiring being commentary. It's tiring being a spectator. I think there's so much enthusiasm. 50 to Herschel Gibbs, and he's found his mark. It'll be more than 50. Goes up to 53. Already 11 from the over from 3 balls.
Herschel Gibbs to century!
He loves batting at this ground, Herschel Gibbs. This is where he helped his team create the world record 50 over score. They chased Australia down, Australia making 434, and Gibbs with a score of 170 odd got them home. Here he is doing it again, picking the slow ball off and crunching it into the gap on the onside. The batter's up immediately to acknowledge the half century.
The full ball still looks the best one to bowl. I haven't seen too many variations, I must admit, but still the full ball is still looking the best option. Wonder if he can spot the stumps. 19 wides.
There's absolutely no excuse at that pace to be bowling that wide down the leg side. That's an absolute shocker. Neither Ray Charles nor Stevie Wonder would bowl one that wide.
Well, he's moved away. He did end up chopping the ball onto the stumps, but he moved away. And he moved away in time as well. Yes, just look at the way he's bowling. I mean, he's bound to go down the leg side. That's why he's angling the ball. If it doesn't go down the leg side, he's angling it into the pads. He looked ready enough at one point. Coming under it. He dropped it. He dropped it. They're putting them down today, and the good fielders putting them down. That might have gone higher than the lights. 137 for 2.
Well, this is going to cost the West Indies if they keep dropping catches. Sure, it went very, very high, but you've got to catch those as an international cricketer. He had an age to get underneath it, take it. I'm surprised he's come up and spoken to the captain.
Really can't afford to put these down. This ball was in the air forever. Sometimes they say the higher it is, the better. He thinks he's gone. It should have been at this level. Dear, oh dear. Almost pulled it back into his stomach. Marlon Samuels, what have you done? What have you done, Marlon Samuels? And meanwhile, Ramnaraj Sarwan, there's a cricket match going on here. We need to get a move on.
Here's your reward, son, for dropping that catch. Have a bowl.
From 42, they're walking it at the moment. But, so what's a good score? I know we're going to keep asking ourselves this all the time, and I know what Ian Chappell's answer is going to be all the time. Good score's one more than the opposition.
It's always worked. 130 years of international cricket. It's always worked, Harsha.
Problem though is what's a good score batting first, because the other side hasn't got the one extra yet.
Ah, well, that's a different question. West Indies, their out cricket at the moment is abysmal. Look at all the wides they've They've given the extra deliveries. And then the drop catches. It's been an abysmal performance after a very good batting performance. At the moment, they're in danger of wasting a wonderfully good batting performance as the 50 partnership comes up between the injured Gibbs and Justin Kemp.
Stoppage for change of bats. I just wonder, when we worked out, the ICC did, you need to bowl 20 overs in 80 minutes. Normally when you say you've got to bowl 15 overs in an hour in test match cricket, you factor in loss of wickets, normal time lost. 4. Looked like a gentle nudge.
Ah, no, you see he's got the right bat now. Makes all the difference. One absolutely raced away. I'd stick with that bat. There's your Durban boys. They'll be on the flight with you, Harsha.
Well, I hope they change their flags by the time they watch India play, or whoever it is they're going up to tomorrow. Of course, it's Pakistan versus Scotland in that group in Durban. And he's found the gap there as well. Now, I think he played that intentionally. Runs never stop flowing. It's like the Amazon in flow.
Well, you can understand why people love this format of the game. You do your day's work, you come along, you see a game of cricket with lots of excitement, plenty of boundaries. Tonight we've seen lots of sixes, and you get a result. And then I guess you throw in a bit of entertainment, some music, a bit of dancing. It's pretty good value.
What the ICC have done very well as well is to keep the ticket prices very low here, because you need the atmosphere. I think 2020 thrives on atmosphere. The ticket price is very low here, so everybody can come, enjoy themselves, have a great evening, go back home, chat about it, come back for another game.
Well, I mean, the young people in the ground seeing the game, they're the people that they're cricket's future. They're the ones who might go on and play the game. If they don't go on and play the game, they keep coming to watch the game. That's your future. You've got to get them in.
Well, don't get younger than that. What a good effort that was. 148 for 2 from 14. Just having a little chat. When are we going to run, guys? When are we not going to run? Or shall we just hit boundaries instead? .148 for 2 now. What do we need here? 58 to win from 6 overs. Already the time allotted for this innings is over. Just wonder whether that's turning out to be too ambitious or whether people are dawdling. Need to take a look at that. Mackay and Tini won't have to bat by the look of it.
It's afternoon tea time in the game.
I mean, I don't want to suggest you played very long back, Chappelli, but when you played one-day cricket, you had a tea break as well, didn't you?
Yeah, first World Cup you had, I think we used to have lunch break and tea break. Not sure about the World Cup, but certainly 72 one-dayers that we played in England, definitely lunch break and a tea break. It was a gentleman's game back then when I played, Harsha.
So what are you suggesting these people have?
Actually, in truth, it was never a gentleman's game. Whoever said that was talking through their hat.
Could not agree more. Ravi Rampal comes back. Easy as that. Easy as that. We need 40 fielders in this game.
Well, South Africa have got the equation into a position where they would expect to win this now. And they've been helped by the poor fielding and the extras that the West Indies have gifted them. But that's a glorious shot. He's picked the little slower ball off break and just got the foot well over to the offside and glided it down to fine leg. Very thoughtful batting.
starting to wonder here, how do people set fields? Or is it that what was once considered inventive is now just the norm?
Well, Gibbs is playing with the freedom of a man injured. He doesn't have to run, and it's almost like, well, anything I get here is a bonus. And when you start playing with that freedom, it's amazing how many times it comes off. Now we've got third man and fine leg up. So good luck. Good luck bowler, I'm saying.
Tell you what, this is a magnificent venue as well. The outfield is electric. Here we all were in England just before flying out here, saying what will be the benchmark for a good bowler this time in 50 overs cricket. If you went under 3.5 and over, about 4 and over, you're very good. Now under 5 and over, you had a good day. What's a benchmark in 2020 cricket? Is 7 and over? Very well done. Starting to think it might be closer to 8. 4 overs 32, you're doing well. Is that where we're headed?
I think 30 or under, if you do that, you've done a terrific job for your side. See, the way these guys are moving, I mean, they're not even worried about being fined for the slow over rate. You could bet your bottom dollar if this was a game in England where there's runs penalties, they'd be charging back to bowl their overs.
This will be 6. 15 from that over.
Glorious timing there from Herschel Gibbs. In fact, Justin Kemp, the man on strike, he's noted for his big hitting. In fact, that's why he got his opportunity in the South African side.
He's a fearsome hitter, and he's hit it again. Length balls are not working. 21 from the over, 169 for 2. Just 37 to get from 30 balls now. Will they win with 2 overs to spare? Would have thought that was unthinkable. So we're learning something every minute here. Easy. Justin Kemp makes it look so easy. Mind boggles here at the Wanderers. 169 for 2, 5 to get, and South Africa almost certain of a win here at this stage. Tony Cozier is in the commentary box, and then David Lloyd will join him.
Quite astonishing. After Chris Gale's whirlwind innings, West Indies would have felt, well, if we're going to lose this one, we're going to lose it in a close finish. It doesn't look that way here now. Tremendous few overs, tremendous hitting here by Justin Kemp off Ravi Rampal, 21 off the over.
Well, it's been that sort of night for West Indies. So many extras, 20 wides, 1 no ball.
$25 extras in all of West Indies, and of course with all those wides it means extra deliveries. They've dropped catches, they've dropped 3 of them. At crucial stages, Kemp was dropped with the easiest of the lot by Samuels in the deep. Bravo and Chandapol also dropping. Run out chance if he had picked it up cleanly. Well, that summed up the West Indies performance in the field this evening.
Just a breakdown. There always will be the odd breakdown when you've got a runner out there.
Almost took his hand off. Hammered with ferocious power. South Africa doing it in style now.
Any blitz is this. Gibbs has moved on to 69 from 47 deliveries.
Record for the third wicket. Another boundary. Record third wicket partnership in all 2020 internationals. At this stage, after 15 overs and 5 balls, the West Indies were 176 for 2. South Africa 179 for 2. So from that point of view, it looks to be touch and go. But in effect, South Africa have this match wrapped up. One run off the over. It's 180 for 2.
Well, can West Indies just turn this around? What do they need? A brilliant piece of fielding, a run out or a catch, an inspirational over a bowling. What can they do? What have they got, West Indies? We saw South Africa battered for 205 for 6, but my word, 180 for 2, South Africa. What a response.
Now, Sawan turns to his best bowler of the evening, Fidel Edwards. 1 for 8 from 2 overs. Got an early wicket when he came on. He's bowled well, he's bowled Yorkers, he's been difficult to score from. He's bowled at pace. If he can pick up a wicket or two here, just could tilt the balance, but at the moment, certainly looking at how things are going, South Africa would be in the favoured position.
You can't believe it, can you, that Edwards 2 overs 1 for 8. Chris Gayle 117, and they're going down. But after 16 overs, West Indies 177 for 2, South Africa 180 for 2, neck and neck.
Down to the far end, they'll get the single. But it's a situation where, for instance, in horse racing, they're coming at the top of the straight, and the horse that's leading is just being caught up by the horse that's coming alongside it, and you know what's going to happen. The one with the momentum is the one that's going to get to the winning post first.
Well, this is for South Africa to lose. They've done all the hard work. They're 2 wickets down. They need 25 from 23. Game over in the mind. 25 from 23. It's a doddle.
No fine leg. It'll go away for 4. So many runs have been given away into that vacant fine leg position this evening. It's a dangerous ploy not to have a fine leg. But in fact, if they go for 4s, and we have that on our screens every time it goes for 4, I don't think we'll mind.
Settle down. Settle down. They'll all be watching this. All the big shots. South Africa putting a marker down. Australia will be watching. New Zealand will be watching. England, India, Pakistan.
Required rate down below 6 and over now. Another wide. It seems as if hardly an over can go by without the West Indies sending down wides, mainly down the leg side, but not only.
But they've lost it completely. 205 for 6, West Indies. There have been 4 previous 2020 internationals on this ground. Team batting second has won 3 of them.
Let's get a couple here. That's where Edwards wants it, and that's where he's been very consistent. Under partnership between these two. neither should still be there. The West Indies let off Gibbs with a drop catch, let off Kemp with a drop catch as well.
.22 fours, 5 sixes, 188 for 2. There will be a hold-up. Some idiot has tried to run on. But this partnership is 100 from 50 deliveries. Get out of here.
They've now gone ahead on the comparison. They're 9 runs ahead of where the West Indies were at this stage. West Indies have lost 1 more wicket. So statistically, as well as actually, the momentum has now definitely shifted towards South Africa.
Good Yorker, but it brings at least a single. Coming back for 2, good running. Well, this crowd, South African crowd, they've come to see their team. This is full at the Wanderers. It's been a wonderful atmosphere. It's been a dramatic game. The 100 for Chris Gayle, West Indies 205. The first delivery from Powell strikes Graham Smith. He's got a bad injury on his hand, not at the ground. South Africa seemingly on the rack, but what a response.
He's a long way down. If he hits, he's out. This evening, West Indies weren't going to hit, and they'll get a single. That just sums up how things have gone for the West Indies here. Look at the expressions on the faces there, and out in the middle with the West Indies. Absolutely contrasting.
Well, they've gone, the West Indies, mentally. There's a run-out opportunity to aim at one stump. It just misses. Then a misfield, and then a single.
Another one, another wide. Oh, this is a shocking performance now from the West Indies. Unforgettable innings by Chris Gayle, set things up for the tournament and for the West Indies tonight. It's been forgettable as far as the West Indies in the field are concerned.
14 required from 19 deliveries. Gibbs 75 from 50. Kemp 46 from 22.
Ends the over, 193 for 2. 3 overs to go.
3 overs to go and just 13 required. Brilliant performance from South Africa, absolutely up against it. West Indies calling the tune for a lot of the game. Brilliant response from Graham Smith, badly injured but stayed out there. Put a marker down, definitely. 13 required from 18 deliveries.
So 193 for 2, 3 overs to go, only 13 needed, 8 wickets in hand. This match is South Africa's and it's easy as well. It's an easy go for them. Boucher's getting ready for what, we wonder?
Well, they can queue up now, the work has been done. What's he going to say at the post-match interviews?
It's psychologically crushing here for the West Indies. They'd started so well, they won both of their warm-up matches. Coming in here with that outstanding innings by Chris Gayle. And then giving it away, really. Down the ground, over his head, 6. Now down to single figures.
Well, it's a cruncher, is this. Look at Sarwar. Cannot believe it. Dancing in the crowd and the band played on. Smiles on that bench there. He's hit some stunning shots. 82 from 52, Gibbs. 7 to win. Moody's in, he might just hit a 7.
Well, he can't hit a wide. But the way things have gone this evening, you wouldn't put it past the West Indies to lose this match on a wide. Dwayne Bravo it is. Ramnaresh Shawan. The match is gone now, for all intents and purposes.
Plenty of chats out there in the middle. Batsmen have chatted, bowler, captain have chatted. What's going to happen? Field change. It doesn't matter. Field change doesn't matter. South Africa are there. 7 to win from 17. Third man drops back mid-off inside the circle. Look out in the crowd, here it comes again.
Over, long off, away it goes. Sawan is brought in the field and Gibbs has just hit it over the top. Easy as you like. He won't have time to get the second 100 of the night. He's 86.
Well, it's a majestic innings this from Gibbs. Will he play the next game? He's injured. Smith, the captain, injured. Shown great character here, South Africa. I've not seen this too often from a South African team. What a response. 3 to win.
But you've got to say it's typical on the West Indies part not to make the best use of an outstanding innings. They've let things go. They've dropped catches. They've given away 27 extras. A record in this shortened form of the game, the shortest. There've been a proliferation of wides. And in the end, you've got to say that they just panicked. And it's a comfortable victory coming up for South Africa in the first match of the inaugural ICC World 2020. Could be this ball. What do we say? Just 2 to win now, another wide.
Well, what a championship, what a 2020 this just promises to be. This is the first game, if they're anything like this. We've got 2 weeks of unbelievable fun.
Bangladesh, the other team in this group. That's it, all over. South Africa have won the first match in the inaugural ICC World 2020. They've done it in style. They've surpassed the West Indies 205 for 6. And a quite magnificent innings of 117 by Chris Gayle has been trumped by Gibbs's 90 and by the other South Africans. They finished 208 for 2. We've had fireworks galore this evening, on and off the field.
What a spectacle this has been. Start the card, handsome. It's been fabulous, fantastic entertainment. The players have put on a show here. What a show this has been. 32,000 packed in. We've seen dancing, we've seen music, we've seen drummers, we've seen fireworks. Have we seen some 4s and 6s? Brilliant.
I don't think the fellas in the maroon reckon it's so brilliant. They really had the opportunity here to start off with a victory, but this man, Herschel Gibbs, has forged a reputation for himself in world cricket. He will remember the night here on this very ground when South Africa overhauled 434 in a 50 overs an innings match. He was at the helm then when South Africa won. He's at the helm again when they win this one. He's 90 not out, 55 deliveries, 2 6s, 14 4s. South Africa win by 8 wickets with 2 overs and 2 balls to spare. They've romped it.
Well, the big players have performed. Herschel Gibbs for South Africa, danger man. Chris Gale for the West Indies, danger man. But a team effort. This is great character for me from South Africa. He's not right either. He's injured, is Gibbs. Will he play the next game? That'll be a burning question for South African spectators and for the team. But he has performed. He is a class performer. Test player, one-day international player, now 2020 player, par excellence. Let's just have a look at this card then. South Africa, Graham Smith injured after the first ball, badly injured, struck on the hand, 28 from 21. AB de Villiers 16 from 9, and then an unbroken partnership. What a partnership that was between Gibbs and Kemp. Look at Kemp, not out, 46 from 22 deliveries. Gibbs 90 from 55 on one leg.
If you're veering in the Caribbean, turn your heads away. The only bowler there who could come out with his reputation intact was Fidel Edwards. All the others, Darren Powell at the start, just one run off his first over. Rampal 13, Smith 18 and a half on an average. West Indies dropping 3 vital catches, number of wides, record number of extras, and South Africa have taken full advantage to win by 8 wickets with 14 balls left. Their next match is against Bangladesh, so the West Indies, and the Bangladeshis will be watching this evening with great interest.